notes, that's a mobby pass. More chops than karate class. I can hear the blues when the shotty blast. The whole block blowing horns, that's that Jackson jazz. Swinging blue notes, that's a mobby pass. More chops than karate class. I can hear the blues when the shotty blast. The whole block blowing horns, that's that Jackson jazz.
I told you guys, man, we coming with it, man. We nonstop. What's going on is really
This VI. This is Factorz TV, y'all. Episode 19.
We back at it with another episode, man. Another week, man. New spill, new talk, man. Come gather around this good stuff.
Talking ish, swallowing spit. Back at it with a myriad of different topics. We're gonna talk about some official stuff. We're gonna talk about some satire. We're gonna talk about a little bit of everything, man.
All right, T.I., I hear you with the vocabulary.
No, T.I. would have said some BS. Nah, not at all.
See, the vernacular of the vernacular and the objectivar of the vernacular.
That's what's going on with you, though.
This past week, man, it's been back in school. Had to really, it was a tough weekend. I had my babies. We had fun. Kicked it as always. It was a blessing always to have, fun with my daughters and do different things. This past weekend was the death anniversary of our big bro, Charles Justice. So long live Chuck. Shout out my family, everybody came out there to support and party at the, gravesite like we would if he was alive, just showing love. And that was a tough day, but it's always about fun because Chuck was a fun person. He was somebody that liked to light up the room. So we had fun in that day and then hung out with my babies. And, it's a cool-ass dad. What you got going this past week?
No, I was going to say that, too. Dogs, family, kids, school, businesses, trying to lock in, try to do so many things at one time, you leave a few things behind.
Yeah.
So you try to lock back in. But I was going to speak about Chuck, long live C-Ray. He's a pivotal, figure in the community. And, this past, what was it? Friday, yeah, one of those days was the anniversary of his death date. And we got together with some people and, kept his memory alive and enjoyed it like he always wanted us to. So shout out to C-Ray, man. We love you and miss you. For real, for real.
Black bastard.
He's a black bastard for sure.
For sure.
I wanted to kick off this this episode. Something happened this morning with Drake.
This is greatness.
Drake posted, on IG, and some troll got into his comments, mentioned his son. So Drake, messaging back, like, I just immediately want to go follow your wife. She looks like she needs, some excitement in her life. And it's insane because she went from 2,000 to 20,000 followers, 21,000 followers.
In some hours.
Like he turned her up. And, dudes trying to play along with it, but hey, man, he's playing a dangerous game.
I don't give a damn how cool he is trying to play. That man is sizzling, bro.
He's cooked for life. He's cooked for life. I don't care how cool your wife are. If there's an argument, you better watch out because a Drake thing's coming up. He has his own airplane. He has fucking Air Drake.
It's Air Drake, dog. But listen, this is what's so cool about this situation is that as a man and woman, man and wife, you know what I'm saying, we have fun, we do this and that. This is where Drake took it from, you know what I'm saying? Because dude said something about his son. Yeah. When Drake was just talking about, regular stuff. So Drake and this is somebody that's petty. He's petty with power. Goes and follow her. She needs some fun in her life, man. I'm about to spice her life up. And guess what happens, man? Turns her life up, man. She got a whole bunch of followers. And he's like, this dude really DM my wife. Drake's in the DM like, hey, Ma, I'm here for you.
He said, I'm here for you, Ma.
I'm here for you, Ma. What you need, my baby? Like, this guy is crazy,
dude
can
play it cool all he wants, but he's treading on thin ice.
Oh.
That's never going to die down in a relationship. She's always going to feel like she could have a Drake or, some 10 years later. I could have flew out with Drake if I wanted to and I stood by you. Or, he done turned their life up. Now they're doing sponsorships and shout outs for $100, $200 in their stories because their stories are getting 200,000 views, So she goes, you ain't never did nothing for me like Drake did. It's bad for him. He's laughing.
He done threw himself in the boiling pot and just by trolling. And this is just the thing about people don't realize is it's cool to troll, it's cool to talk stuff, but it's just like the personal stuff. It's just with his kid.
His kid, yeah.
And you think Drake's not going to see you. You're always like, oh, man, they won't look at your comments. They ain't going to check me out. They ain't going to read it. And guess what happens? He reads it. He responds to it in a positive manner. He gives you some light to shed. This guy is a maniac. Like, it was genius. It was not only good for himself, he's helping out a black family, but at the end of the day, this guy is an all-around, all-American. He is a cold cat.
He did that, man. He did that. Your wife and he did it in a polite way too, you know. And you can't be mad because you went at his kid, like, and he's not disrespecting your wife. He's just saying, "Hey, mom, I'm here for you. Look like you need some assignment." And you know, he's a big idol, big icon, big spotlight. Come on, man, you gotta be smarter than that. Because now you're playing it cool, but bro,
see how long it's cool, how cool it's gonna be. You know, you
we'll
play it cool till it ain't cool no more, man.
Nah, man, we'll see how that go, man. Me and Stelly was on Twitter talking. He's in a dangerous, like
dangerous waters.
Like you think it's cool right now. It's cool. It's all a laugh and giggles right now, but man, yeah, we'll see.
We'll check on them in a few months, see if that divorce ain't final. It's like I'm playing.
No, seriously, for real. I also saw some in the news where WNBA player Brittany Griner was is being held in Russia. The U.S. officials, whoever that is, I don't even know. There's so many different official officers. They have come to the conclusion that she was illegally detained,
declared illegally detained.
Yeah. So they're gonna put more effort into bringing her back home, you know, which I hope they do.
Which is good because it's a headline now. It went from being quiet and not, you know, we're talking about it more than the U.S. or CNN, anybody else talking about it, but now it's a headline.
No, yeah, I'm glad they're talking about it, but they need to bring her home. Like, she's a U.S. citizen who represents you guys on national levels, and you guys are just sitting back like, you know, you scared of Russia? You know, this guy Biden send more money over to Ukraine. These guys is crazy here, man. I can't deal with them.
We can't deal with them, but it's very unfortunate that she's going through that. I try to read a little bit more on it, and it's just disheartening to realize that her family, nobody has had any contact with her. Like, that is scary. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's privately having a phone conversation or she has one representative for herself to have someone go tell her family how she's doing, what condition she's in. There is no one that has talked to her, not in her family, not a lawyer, anybody. And that's very, very disheartening, and it's scary to think putting yourself in that situation to not only be in jail or prison, but to be out the country in a country that is in the middle of war. So we're praying for her all the time. Very thankful the U.S. finally said something that took way too long, way too damn long, but thank you for finally speaking up and making a headline, because one thing about America is the headlines mean the most in the media, and I'm glad that they said declared her, because it's only right to say she is being detained. There's no explanation for where she is or how she is doing, and I hope that she gets home soon. I can't imagine that. That's crazy to me, man.
That's nuts, man. Let me stop, man. I joke too much. Yeah. I do. Seriously. Speaking of officials, you saw, like, you spoke some about the opioid epidemic, and also there being some decriminalization in Washington State.
They're going to roll out a bill to decriminalize drugs in Washington State very soon, which most likely will pass. They're trying to do it like Oregon. And a lot of people are excited about it. There are some benefits to it, but it's kind of like a backhanded thing to the black community. So
a few blacks,
Latinos. I mean,
but I know you're speaking for us mostly.
For us, because we were called junkies. We were called crackheads. They were combining us with our homes. We're taking our homes from us, splitting homes up, giving people crazy amount of time, jail time, prison time, taking assets, you know, generational wealth that would be built if people were able to keep these things, even if they made a mistake. It's crazy because we are at a point where everything's becoming legal now. Everything's becoming cool to do and gaining profit. And most of these things were built around black people to bring them down.
Their demise. And that's one thing I did see is that, you know, now it's being called a sickness. You know, now people, instead of going to jail, they go to, you know, to get well, they go to wellness centers, they go to rehabilitate. You know, black people might have been smoking crack and still doing 5-10 years, you know, even though they're smoking it. But I see that, you know, the difference in the care for it. You know, now they have safe houses where people safe injection sites where people go make sure they don't overdose and, you know, do the right drugs. Like, it's crazy how it's going now. So, but yeah, I remember Portland decriminalized drugs, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. And, you know, there's people, you know, who do, you know, magical stuff down there. So,
and it's not funny, but it's sad because I represent us, and I know that we have been redlined. We've been it's been a genocide when it comes to drugs in America. Disenfranchised. We've been set back many times due to laws created to target black people and black communities, and also us being given drugs that we wouldn't know how to create or get if it wasn't for certain powers that be.
We ain't have no plane, man.
We ain't have no plane.
Coca leaf grows where we can't get to.
Yeah, it's hella hot where it grows naturally. So it's just all types of things that you can think about who supplied and who did what to what community. But all I know is that when it comes to Washington State, you guys are lacking the support on, if not giving reparations, giving the resource to those to put themselves in the forefront of businesses and making new programs.
I was say same thing with the legalization of marijuana. What place was it you said just gave minorities a year head start?
Oklahoma, a year and a half ago, they gave minorities a head start a year and a half ago on, legalization of marijuana, meaning you were able to get in on licenses, you were able to get permits and be able to be a part of the process from seed to weed. Washington State hasn't done that for anything. I think we are owed a lot by Washington State as black people, whether it be from redlining with our property, whether it be drug laws, or whether it be with this weed legalization and how you guys gave all the benefits and resources of those who own businesses, which were majority white and Asian people who had nothing to do and who were never affected by this beforehand. It's a lot to be said and a lot to be talked about, but I think a movement's going to come and a time's going to come where we're going to stand up, because ain't no way you let gentrification happen. It hasn't done, and there's so many other things you could have did to help us not only become better with our situations, but invest in our futures. And those are some of the things you could have did. Things you took away in the past that are great now and making money now, he could have gave to us now. So it's just sickening to see the opioid epidemic giving them so much power to change laws and then give them safe sites. And also now it's time to decriminalize when you guys have gained billions off gelling and putting people in
taking
prison.
people's cars, houses,
all that. You made billions. You've set us back. Assets, houses, and all that been taken. The Brown Act of 75, something you can look up yourself, which started in California, but Washington adopted it, where if you or anyone in your family sells drugs or does drugs, if you're connected to a household, your household is up. You could get it taken away. It's certain things that people don't know about that had to do with if not the progress of black people, it's to slow down the progress of black people. So we really need to get into not only these laws, but things that are forthcoming that are supposed to give the state wealth, supposed to give the city wealth. There's things that need to be brought up and put light on so they can shine and we can get the truth out of this, because the laws with this weed stuff and all this decriminalizing them, it upsets me. It really does. I know I've lost people, whether it be to death or whether it be to the system, and even myself going through things in the system, because of the same things that are okay now and cool now to do. It's really disheartening. It makes me upset.
No, yeah, me too. Shoot, there's some dope dealers who could have been chemists. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to cook
real
crack.
Talk.
It's not easy to cook crack.
It's not even a joke. That's real talk. No, we got chemists in the
seriously.
kitchen. You know what I'm talking about? Hairstylists work with chemicals like doctors do. Like, we in the hood whipping it up, but you guys took it from us. So it's time you give it back.
And then turn it into Ritalin. I think it said Ritalin is one molecule
Of
away
crack?
from being crack.
I believe it.
Yeah, literally, they showed the models,
The DNA structure.
the structure.
Not,
and it was
not the
literally
DNA,
one,
but the structure of the
one molecule, one strand from being, crack.
Well,
it's insane.
That's horrible. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That is something that's close to me, not but just the how they're treating, how the opioid epidemic is affecting white people, but also the decriminalizing of laws and how they are just turned a bad eye to giving us chances and resources for the marijuana industry in Washington State. Every state that is legalizing it are putting black people first and people of color first, because they know we were targeted. So Washington State, I don't know what you're going to do, but you got to figure it out.
You guys failed us, but it's not over. It's not over.
Far from it.
Black Chyna. We spoke to her about the child custody stuff. She was back in the news because she had a defamation lawsuit against the Kardashians. And she said some things, but she, ultimately won. No matter if it's true or not, you have money, power, and the Kardashians have respect and money to go behind, fighting. But I want it to be a point to show women, to have some type of stability, some type of, solidarity behind, what they're doing. Like, now she's setting up to do a celebrity boxing thing. Like, she's reaching for money everywhere because she's broke. And that's because she tried to live off having family baby dads. She thought the reality TV show was gonna last. She thought the ratchet stuff was gonna last, and it doesn't. You have to have some type of firm footing in business. And I hope people take a lot of lessons from what she's going through, because it's showing you, that stuff don't last. Like, it's hard to keep fast money, but fast money that's dependent on others, her fame, her notoriety, being booked, TV shows. In industries, you could be blackballed, even if the Kardashians messed her over. She hasn't built herself up to the level to where she can even play with them. Like, you can't go to war with somebody who has unlimited lawyers, unlimited money, resources. You know, you can't do that.
I'm going to cut you off because I don't really know much about it because I don't follow her in herself. But check this out. She's doing a boxing match?
Yeah, she announced the other day, I'm doing a celebrity boxing match. She broke. She going broke, and now you're fighting heifer. It's like, come on.
That's probably the best thing she's ever done. Who's not going to tune in and see if she gets rocked or not?
There's hella females coming from the
Raptors.
Raptors.
She's going to make her money. Somebody will tune in and see Black Chyna get rock 'em, bop 'em, sock 'em.
No, she might, she definitely gonna make her money, and there's hella females who like, who's like, I'll box you, but how does that affect plastic surgery and stuff? You know, like, is it gonna mess up her face? So she's gonna fall on her butt and her butt's gonna pop?
She don't have a nose anymore, so it might knock her cheekbones off.
Her butt gonna pop when she falls down?
I don't know, it might lose a tit. Nah, but seriously, in all seriousness, I get your point. But it's just unfortunate that she had a chance to represent us on a platform that was higher and just did the regular, smegular stuff. And obviously, they ain't getting paid for it. All that camera, it's just crazy how people be in front of the camera so much and have all this following, all this, and just be broke.
I mean, but you also, it's also mismanaging money. You got to maintain the lifestyle. It's different when you get your lifestyle and then you're just cruising. But when you get to the lifestyle, you want to maintain that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, that's when the child support stuff backfired on her, because she was like, I had to give up 3 of my cars out of my 6 cars. But you don't make money like that. And then she's like, if I got child support, it'll help. And then it came out, where she had her kids 2 days out the week, so it really backfired on her. So everybody, get your stuff together. Don't be dependent on nobody, or you're gonna be Black Chyna. You're gonna be doing celebrity boxing matches, trying. I know her PR people are coming up with everything they can. Hey, we're tired. You need to do a boxing match. Get knocked out for some money.
Fellas, don't be DJ Envy. We're going to break.
Don't what?
Don't be DJ Envy.
Oh, yeah, he is whack. We're gonna take a break on that note. When we get back, we're gonna talk a little more about some things and finish off this episode. Stick with us.
I did it for the city. I did it for the love. I did it for the people. I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie. This practice. Pondering my next move. Staring at my track list. Hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist. Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Welcome back to the episode. I scanned over and then read. We all know, well, not all of us, but most of us know about the Oklahoma, the real Oklahoma bombing, the Tulsa
massacre,
Greenwood, the massacre, the racist atrocity, attempt at genocide. There are a few survivors who are still alive from that long while ago. They're in their hundreds as far as age go, but they've been fighting to get reparations, really, for what happened. And I want to say yesterday or the day before, a judge, allowed, because at first it was being blocked. They're still trying to get buildings back, cities back. They're trying to get funding for
equity,
it.
all that.
Yeah, they're trying to get everything back that they lost. But a judge finally pushed through saying, hey, these guys need to be able to at least go to court. Because at first I wasn't trying to let them go through with it. These guys need to be able to go to court to, sue and, try to get some type of, mends, to what happened, from back then. So
and it's crazy because there's a lot of stories like that, and I'm glad that the people that are still around are being able to see that, like you said, they're in their hundreds. They have to be close, if not late 90s. Even with the Manhattan Beach family, who was just rewarded all their land back and money through equity from the late 1800s, early 1900s, after their family owned a beachfront property not too far to LA, if not in LA, and it was taken from him. So this story, like, it really warms my heart, but I hope it goes further because there's so much to be given back to that community, which was like one of the most thriving black communities in the history of America.
They had airports, schools,
High schools,
school
banks.
districts.
They were
banks.
yeah.
They're their own entity. Like,
Yeah.
Todd, I think it is to have a city, you need a hospital, a bank, a grocery store, and a school district. And maybe something else, but those are the basic needs to form a community.
Yeah.
And they had all that. They didn't need anybody, you
Yeah.
know. So, no, I'm glad to hear that, but the U.S. needs to pay reparations, but for sure, places where the genocides happened, you know, Lake Lanier, where the black people were chased out.
The village in Oregon,
The
you
village
told me
in
about.
Oregon, that was like, so many places have been washed out, you know, by, you know, white America, and there's been no retribution to that. But, yeah, the judges gave them the goal to say, hey, go ahead and follow through and, you know, follow your lawsuits and go through with the court proceedings. So shout out to that, man. That's dope.
I'm gonna keep my eye on that, man. That's my first time hearing about that. I'm into them type of things, and we keep my eye on that. So we're gonna talk about that later on because I think some of these things, they kind of just go under the radar. You know, like really,
no one
really
wants to talk
quiet.
about it.
They don't want to talk about history or the truth.
Everything's not about race.
Yeah, it's you guys still talking about race? Forget it, man. Like forget race, man.
You're
Race
my
doesn't
brother.
matter. I don't see colors. My best friend's black. Man, get the out of here, man.
Best friend is,
You know,
he's not, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
I don't see colors, man. Know what I'm saying?
You know who is seeing colors? The dude who tried to beat up Dave Chappelle.
Hey, listen, he's seeing colors and how much body parts cost because Mr. Potato Head got his shit bent backwards.
Bro,
dog.
hey, what's more insane is they handcuffed that man's.
Dog, they still handcuffed him
His arm was-
with his arm like this.
His
He
shit
had a
was
chicken
broken.
wing on the stretcher. That is
Hey,
crazy, dog.
But Dave Chappelle was performing live, you know, in front of friends and family, in front of a large crowd. And someone who's obviously, he's had an issue with Dave Chappelle for years. He actually made a song about him 2 years ago, disrespecting him. But he ran up on stage when Dave Chappelle was going to do the closing, you know, closing the show. He tackled him. They wrestled for a little bit. Then he got up and he tried to run away and got his
Dave's
ass
team
whooped.
They did the yada the stump on
Dave Chappelle was stomping him. Busta Rhymes, Jamie Foxx, them was real friends. They was whooping.
That was a
security.
workout. That's a good old, you know how I did it back in the days, man. That's a good old Seattle waving.
They put a bread loaf on his forehead. His eye was shut, bleeding. His arm. How do you sit there with your arm like that?
It's already done, bro. What can you do? It's done. The initial.
I would have been screaming.
It's already done. That's done. It's already done, man. He can't even move it. That's why he's like that. He don't even want to move. But what's crazy is they found a gun with a knife on the end of it. They literally, after a while, they said the man snuck in. He had a plastic or some gun in him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got through the metal detector. So, I mean, he had a real issue with Dave.
Oh, he had a real issue.
Yeah. Now it's going to be a situation of Dave hiring more security and all that. But Dave's one of them, like, you know what I'm saying, real niggas, like, he's tough, but, like, one of them dudes, like.
But he's highly respected, too,
Yeah.
you know?
You know,
and-
I'm not. That's one thing out of a whole bunch, you know? Now I get to say somebody tried to kill me. You know, it's going to be a whole joke now.
Oh, no, he's a whole joke. Even Chris Rock
You
was
see,
on stage.
I was going to say, you see Chris tried to throw it in there. What did Chris say?
He said, was that Will Smith?
No, the crowd started laughing hella hard, and he deserves that. Ain't nobody better not say nothing to Chris Rock, bro. You guys got at that moment you be picking on him because he already took the slap, finished the Oscars, he been held his grace.
Show class.
Show class.
I also want to reiterate that they handcuffed that man's arm. Bro,
the chicken wing.
Bro, put that picture up whenever we do the editing, bro. Someone handcuffed that man to the damn what's it called, stretcher. It's crazy.
Because he got stretched. He got long arm stretched, dog. It's crazy to see the video because you see Dave get tackled and it kind of like, they're like, oh, whoever's recording kind of gets crazy. But then dog gets up and he makes it, this was perfect because he made it right past the back part where you couldn't see him no more. And that's where the ass whooping ensued. Like he literally got around the corner and you just seen 6 people just ascend on him. And it was probably just a whole bunch of cartoons.
Boy, they turned him to a trampoline. Boom. The person recording said, hey, they're stomping him. Damn right they're stomping him. He tried to take out Dave Chappelle. You talking about the Batman?
Yeah. Boom.
Damn. Boom.
Bang.
Bing.
Zing. Like
He's
getting his ass toe up.
Getting his ass hurt. Like,
Oh, shit.
they handcuffed that man's broken arm to the bro. That picture, because somebody zoomed in on it. His arm is backwards.
It's backwards.
His elbow is pointing like he's pointing at somebody with a finger.
It's backwards with the chicken wing.
When they handcuffed that man to the stretcher, that shit is hilarious. I'm sorry. I won't get over that.
Like this. He's just like this. This hurts. So I know he's over there.
This hurts.
I know he's over there dying inside, dog.
How dumb can you be?
But how'd you plan your night? Your night didn't start out like that, buddy. You was
Oh,
psyching
no.
yourself
after
up.
after I found out he made a song about Dave Chappelle and didn't like him, he came planning to do something and he saw his opportunity and it didn't work out like he.
But what did you see from running up him? Okay, forget getting all the way beat up. You run into a situation like that, logically you're thinking that they have security already, but at the same time, you're like,
If you look at the video, like before it happened, you don't see security's tucked. You don't see anybody.
Yeah, anybody.
There's some blending in the show. There's some back behind speakers you can't see them. There's some back behind that wall.
And I know that, but what I'm saying is his thought process, where did he think he was going to escape to?
He's probably on drugs or something. Who knows, man? I'm going to run it back to drugs.
Them drugs lasted that long during that show?
Yeah. He's probably on an LSD acid trip or something. Whatever it was, they gave him some gumption. They gave him some gumption, man, to run up on stage on one of the most respected comedians,
People been
out
running up
there.
on stages and at these shows and stuff, man.
Man, soon we're gonna see somebody get their ass shot. Somebody, and there's gonna be, oh, you shouldn't have did that. You gotta leave people alone.
Yeah.
Leave people alone.
Yeah, stay in the crowd if you want to be put on a t-shirt, because after a while, especially this guy having a gun, that does make it really, really serious.
No, it does. And somebody will make you famous. You'll be viral and won't even know because you'll be in a box. Leave people alone, man.
You won't even know it, man.
You won't even know.
Famous.
You'll be viral. Put you on the jumbotron.
He was a kind man.
He's a sweet man.
He was an honest man.
He's a dead man. I saw you speaking about. You say Elon Musk was something about buying cocaine. It's like
Nah, I was talking about, everybody knows that Elon Musk, Tesla owner and innovator and philanthropist and just all around billionaire and badass. Basically, we know he purchased Twitter for, I believe, $45 billion.
billion for billion.
He had a tweet that went crazy. He's been going crazy on Twitter because he owns it now. He basically said he's gonna purchase Coca-Cola to throw the cocaine back in it. And I know you guys are like, what? No. But some of us are old enough to know that
Coca-Cola had cocaine in it
when it first started,
dropped.
It had 3.5 grams of cocaine in it.
Ooh, they had
Now,
the pack.
When it came to America, I believe in the earliest 1800s, because Coca-Cola is really old. It's like from the 1700s, I believe. I don't know for sure. It's like a Spaniard drink. I did my research on it, but they basically brought it here and they dumbed it down, but it still had I want to say a gram of cocaine in it. Elon basically said on Twitter he's gonna go ahead and buy Coca-Cola back and gonna throw that good old stuff back in it, which is wild to say on Twitter and being someone with influence and power. Thanks for your Need for Speed moment. It's really having to think about someone want to take a company and take it back to the old days, but this is something cocaine ain't a legal drug. You talking about throwing it back in the splash? Man, that was just amazing to see. Freedom of speech. That's why he said it. That's the reason why he bought Twitter. People were really thinking about him going to buy Coca-Cola to put cocaine back in it. But his reason for buying Twitter was people was trying to change it and alter it and not give it freedom of speech. And so that's what he's showing and what he's proven. I don't believe he's going to do that. But at a certain time, Coca-Cola did have cocaine in it, and you could buy cocaine over the counter at Sears. Back to you.
Come get your.
No, you really could.
No, yeah.
Yeah. You guys don't know that, man? America's an effed up place, you guys. You guys don't know that? Huh? You ain't got that already?
Hey, man, what Scarface say on Mary Jane? If it's taxable, it's cool to smoke. You know? Before marijuana was legal, you could go get a cigarette, that's killing people, and they know it, but you go get it, You go get alcohol, people die from DUI, from driving, from alcoholism, every year, but you can go get it because it's taxable, so they choose and pick, I give it 15, 20 years before cocaine is legal in certain amounts. If you want to do a little bump.
That's the whole thing about decriminalizing now.
I mean, Portland
Same
did
thing
it.
we're
Portland,
talking about
people who do shrooms in Portland was partying because, they didn't have to worry about the law anymore, So
Yeah, so it's just crazy he said that, but people didn't see the bigger picture, which wasn't he actually buying, Elon Musk actually buying Coca-Cola and putting cocaine back in it, but freedom of speech. But at the same time, everybody's tripping. You could tell who's really not hip or who's really young or who's on Twitter the babies is what do you mean Coca-Cola? And they're tripping about it, but it really was something.
It had that yowda.
And it changes your perspective on America and how laws were and things were back then because, I want to be honest with you, I think my great-grandma told me that even in the 50s, Sears had cocaine for sale over the counter or 40s or something. And she moved here from Muskogee, Oklahoma.
They said, but I'm going to say it, make America great again. Make it great again. Let people sell their stuff. Not, let people do their habits. Let people sell their stuff. Not like slavery you know, make it great again. But like, you know, and also I'm not a fan, like we should have stayed segregated, but that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, whole episode we'll talk about the
we should have stayed
segregation.
separate, you know, segregated.
Everybody equal so bad.
Yeah, didn't get none of it.
Yeah.
Should have kept our own shit.
Yeah.
But
For real.
No, yeah, we're gonna close this one out. Any shout outs you wanna give?
I'm going to shout out my girl, Jess Sweets, co-owner of Zoe Sweets, which is a clothing line here in Washington State.
She's fire, bro.
Washington.
She's so talented.
She has pre-made pieces, but also she does custom pieces. So, like, anything from casual, formal, like gowns, anything you want, Jess Sweets, she does it. I'm talking about, like, real taste, not just putting stuff together. Like, she's really making outfits that are like worn by celebrities and also worn by hometown favorites and people who know she just has a creative mind. So shout out my girl, Just Sweets. Zoe Sweets is a company on Twitter. That is exactly how it sounds. Just Sweets, I believe, with a Z, or Zoe Sweets with a Z in the end where the S will be. So shout out to you, Just Sweets, man. Keep rocking, man. I'm gonna come try to get an outfit. We was talking about it outside our birthday. We're gonna put something together for the summertime.
For sure. I want to give 2 shout outs. One to Bird's Eye View Photography. He's here doing his thing, but he's also known around the hood for doing his thing, taking
Good old
pictures,
Central District,
capturing moments. You know, he's been doing it for years. You know, like he's sent me photos and I'm like, damn, I didn't know he was taking pictures. So shout out to him for being a part of the time capsule. You know, so many memories, so many things we're gonna miss. We don't even know we missed yet. You know, and he's here. You know, in studio taking pictures. So shout out to him. Also, I want to shout out That's Win. He's a prominent, you know, real estate mogul from Seattle, Washington, and everybody loves him from TikTok and Instagram and him sharing his success stories. But me and Ron know him personally.
Personally know him.
He sold our family houses before. He's always gave us good game. He's come to us with business opportunities and other things. He's looked out for my mom when it comes to buying a house. So he's been near and dear to our family. Like now he's driving Phantoms and Bentleys and Ferraris. And when we were younger, he put up to our house in a canary yellow 79 Coupe de Ville on Gold D's.
On Dayton's, man, on Juice, hitting switches, man.
But he also, he just shared one of his stories on one of the podcasts. I cannot remember the name of the podcast for the life of me. But he was talking about when, you know, he thought he was going to go to the feds and he had to make amends with his wife and, you know, get prepared to come, you know, go to the feds, and the feds never came, you know, and just how he, you know, went on about his life from them, but he felt free. So shout out to that because he's also a giving game. He teaches people the game and how to do things. Like one of the things I learned is a lot of people think you're supposed to just flip houses, but you don't know. When you flip a house for hella money, it's something called capital gains tax, where if you're selling something making $300,000, $400,000 on it, you don't think the government's gonna be like, hey, that's a nice chunk of change, give me mine. So you're gonna make less. He holds on to his
generational
and, you
wealth,
know, rents it out, you know, different properties. But shout out to him because he made money. He's showing how to make money. You know, there's a lot of people from here who don't do that. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to Sal, man, our engineer, man. He always comes and holds it down, man. He's always here he's always flexible. He always communicates, you know. So this show wouldn't happen without him. So shout out to everybody.
Yeah, shout out Sal, man, my dog, man. You know, I'm talking about we're gonna get high after this.
Oh shit! This is episode 19, man. I'm VI.
Oh really, man? I'm just joking. Sal's drug free.
We out. Ixtay on the. We out.
I did it for the city. I did it for the love. I did it for the people. I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie. This practice. Pondering my next move. Staring at my track list. Hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.